Hi everyone. We've got another story called Winston Was Worried. A lovely little dog Winston is. Yeah. Well, I'm just going to show you where Winston lives. Right. Can we get my hand out of the way? Can you see Winston on the step? Yeah. And if you really look close, you see a small car and some mice. Can't you? Yeah, hanging around. So that's where he lives, and he's worried, sitting on the step. So we're going to read about him today. Winston had a splinter in his paw. Ow. Oh no, wailed Winston. There's nothing as bad as having a splinter in your paw. I'm so unfortunate. Everything always happens to me. Aye, Winston, barked Angus. Want to buy some bicycle tyres? I can't, cried Winston. I need to see the vet. I've got a splinter in my paw. Gosh, said Angus. Is it a big splinter? Is it? Said Winston proudly. It is, said Winston proudly. Thunk. It's a great big splinter. Nothing is as bad as having a splinter in your paw. It's so unfortunate. Everything always happens to me. Aye, Winston, barked Rex. How about sniffing around the dustbins? I can't, cried Winston. I need to see the vet. I've got a splinter in my paw. Wow, said Rex. Is it a big splinter? It is, said Winston proudly. It is a great, big, huge splinter. As Rex was looking in the dustbin, all of a sudden, Rex fell in the dustbin and he couldn't get out. So Winston decided to walk off. But then a dustbin lorry come, and the dustbin lorry picked up the bin, lifted it up, put it in the back of the bin, and poor old Rex got stuck in the rubbish. And the dustbin lorry drove off with Rex inside. So Winston just said, nothing is as bad as having a splinter in your paw. And now he's lost his friend. So he carries on walking off, Winston does. And he says to himself, I'm so unfortunate. Everything always happens to me. Winston, barked Bert. I found a new flower bed. Let's dig, said Bert. I can't, cried Winston. I need to see the vet. I've got a splinter in my paw. Yuck! Ow! Said Bert. It is a big splinter. It is, replied Winston proudly. It's a great, big, huge, enormous splinter. All of a sudden, a wasp come by and stung Bert on the nose, and Bert cried out, ow! But Winston decided to walk off and just say, nothing is bad as having a splinter in my paw. I'm so unfortunate. Everything always happens to me. Hello, Winston, barked Sophie. Ooh. Shall we go and chase some cats? I can't, cried Winston. I need to see the vet. I've got a splinter in my paw. Golly, Sophie said. It is a big splinter. Rough, Sophie went. It is, replied Winston proudly. Yep. Sophie saw a cat and started running after the cat and barking. But Winston decided to carry on walking. and just say, it's a great, big, enormous, gigantic splinter. But all of a sudden, he come to a zoo. And he just said to the animals in the zoo, nothing is as bad as having a splinter in your paw. I'm unfortunate. Everything always happens to me. But then Sophie come running. And all of a sudden the lion in the zoo caught Zoe. Ah! No, Sophie. Ah! The crocodiles were there. All sorts of animals were there. But Winston, all he can think about is his splinter. And all he could say was, I'm unfortunate. I've got a splinter. So Winston sucked his sore paw. But something felt different. Where's my splinter gone? Cried Winston. It's disappeared. Winston gave his paw a big great lick. Oh no, yelled Winston. I need to see the vet. I've got a wobbly loose tooth. Nothing is as bad as having a wobbly loose tooth, said Winston. It's so unfortunate. Why does everything always happen to me? And now I'm going to show you this book. I think Winston, everything just doesn't happen to him. But if you have a look at the book, look at all the other dogs he met that day. They're all patients in the doctors. So Winston thought, oh no, everybody I met today is poorly. But he said, I've still got to see a doctor about my loose tooth. That's the end. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.